Picture this, a corporate nobody and her entitled new boss crash land on a desert island, and suddenly all those office politics don't mean jack. That's Send Help in a nutshell. Rachel McAdams plays Linda, who's great at her job but painfully awkward in social situations. Dylan O'Brien is Bradley, the trust fund CEO who just took over the company. When their plane goes down, he's left with a mangled leg while she's got actual survival knowledge from being a huge fan of Survivor. And yes, that show is still somehow running after 50 seasons. What's fascinating here is watching the power flip. He keeps trying to boss her around like they're still in a conference room, but out here, his authority means nothing. It's basically what happens when the corporate ladder disappears and you're stuck with someone who used to control your paycheck. The movie works because McAdams and O'Brien commit fully to this twisted dynamic. Their back and forth isn't romantic tension, it's more like two people locked in a passive-aggressive battle for control, and it's darkly hilarious. O'Brien does this unhinged laugh that's borderline cartoonish, but it actually sets the tone perfectly for how absurd the situation is. Some people online compared it to Misery meets Castaway, which is pretty accurate. The humor sneaks up on you too, not through forced jokes, but through the sheer ridiculousness of watching these two argue about who's in charge while literally fighting for survival. It's uncomfortable and funny at the same time, which honestly describes a lot of workplace dynamics anyway. And if you're liking this review, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Now here's what makes Send Help stand out. Sam Raimi directed it, and you can tell. This isn't some generic survival thriller that could have been made by anyone. Raimi brings a signature style, the creative camera angles, the deliberately uncomfortable moments, the willingness to make things grosser and more intense than they need to be. There's a hunting sequence that gets way more graphic than expected, and yes, there's a scene where someone pukes directly onto someone else's face. It's got that Evil Dead energy, even though it's a completely different type of movie. Without Raimi's touch, this would just be another stranded on an island story we've seen before. With him, it feels fresh and unpredictable. My only gripe is the final few minutes, which took a turn that felt cheap after everything that came before it. But overall, this is a fun, tense ride that proves you can take a familiar setup and make it feel new with the right director behind the camera. So what'd you think if you've seen it? Or what's your go-to survival movie? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.